This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you are all able to see it. Okay. So what is cloud? Okay. Or before we answer this question, let us go a few decades back and what was happening, right? Now we will all in the modern day era, whatever we need, we will just Google it. Okay, whether it is on a mobile phone or your smartphones or on a PC, laptop, whatever we need, whatever the information we require, we just Google, right? Or if you want to purchase anything, so how do we do that? For example, I'll simply log into flipkart.com, right? And the moment I hit the URL, a beautiful website, appears in front of me, right? And I can log in. I can just log into my using my mobile number and whatever do, and I can do shopping, and I can go to my cart and do the payment and come back. Okay, so this is what we all do. Okay, but what happens in the back end? Okay, so that is what is important to understand. Okay, so whenever we hit the URL, right, so there are a lot of process which is happening in the back. Okay, so I will tell you where these websites are hosted. Let me show you. Okay, so these websites, okay, so basically this is called as a web application. Okay, because I am now browsing it through my laptop, so this is called as web application, right? Because we are browsing through the web. Okay, now so these websites are hosted in the data centers like this, okay, which are managed by companies. Okay, and in the initial days before cloud computing came into the picture, so whatever we have to do, if you have any application developed through your organization, so there was a dependency that those application needed to be hosted in a hardware. Okay, so I will show you how the hardware will look like. Okay, so just give me a moment. Dell PowerEdge R740. Okay, so this is how a typical server will look like. Okay, why we call it server? Because it will serve a web page like this. Okay, you can take any you can take amazon.com also. Okay, any website, any web application, right? For that matter, those need to be hosted in a server like this. Okay, so these are called the servers. And if you see the price here, let me just show you. If you check the price, okay, if you see here, this is the price of the server. How much? 1,51,000. See, this is for the this model. Okay, if you go with the another model, let me show you. For the R740, the price will be even more expensive. Okay, let me show it to you live. Yeah, see here, so Dell PowerEdge, so it is starting from 2,45,699. Okay, so this is how the company used to purchase the server. Okay, so now let me open a whiteboard and let me start drawing things. Okay, then you will understand. Just a minute. Okay, so imagine this is a company owner. Okay, right? So the first thing he has to do is investment, right? So he has to do what? Investment. For what? In order to purchase the server. Okay, so let us add the server here. Okay, so he invested in lakhs, so he brought the server. Okay, so after he has made the investment, he brought the server. That is totally fine. Now, will his work ended here? No. So his work has just started. Okay, so this server requires what? 24/7 power supply. Okay, and before that it requires a huge space. Okay, so huge space to accommodate this server, isn't it? So it requires a huge space to accommodate this server and 24/7 power supply. Why power supply? Because the user trying to access this application will be from different parts of the world. Okay, so and different part of the world follow different time zones. Okay, so I cannot say my application will run from IST 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. No, it's not like that. Even from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. there will be several power cut also in between, right? So for that you need to also power. How we'll get this power supply? So I am writing in the bracket. So we have to get power supply from minimum 2 cities. Okay, so imagine my company. Okay, so I have started a company. The name is some xyz.com. Okay, it is just like a Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, so this is an xyz.com. If my company xyz.com need to be up and running, I mean my application, if I want my customers to log in and shop 24/7, so this is what I have to do. So I need to first set up a big space, right? And I need to provide my server with a 24/7 power supply. Then my job doesn't end here. Then what next? So dedicated bandwidth of internet. Okay, dedicated bandwidth of internet connection is required, isn't it? So because of internet connection only we are all connected here today in this meeting. So dedicated bandwidth of internet is required. Then along with that, see, this is what is this? This is purely a hardware. So even though you are purchasing a brand new hardware, so any hardware is bound to wear and tear, and it is bound to some manufacturing defects as well. We cannot guarantee that it is going to function as it is. Okay, so you need a hardware engineer. Okay, so you need to hardware engineer to set up these things and maintain in case of anything. Okay, so you need network engineer, you need hardware engineer, so your list goes on and on. Okay, network engineer, then administrator. So you need to keep hiring. So even this is just a beginning phase of my journey. My application is not yet live. Okay, so this is one part of investment. Then parallelly, what else I'm doing is I'm also making my application more stable with the help of developers here. Okay, so I'm also in touch with my developers, so they are developers. Okay, so let me write here. So developers, what they are doing, so they are converted my idea into code. Okay, so let me write. Yeah, so they have converted my idea into code because I have told them that, boss, I need an application which is similar to flipkart.com. Okay, so I am paying them here also investment. Just see here. So here also investment. Okay, now developers have converted my idea into a pieces of code or lines of code. Okay, now this code I need to deploy it into this server. Okay, so this code I need to deploy to the, I will write it here. So code will be converted into software or application or a package, and it will be, I'll mention here, deployed to the server. So these are two verticals as a business owner you have to keep investing on throughout your life. If you have to own everything, okay, so even you have not yet, so before you purchase the hardware, you will have to hire developers. So your first investment starts there. So you need to tell your idea and you need to discuss everything with them, and the developers will convert your ideas into code, and then finally it is ready for the deployment. So deployment is what? Putting this code into a server. Okay, now what is this server? You can relate this server to our laptop also. Initially, if you are feeling difficult to understand, okay, you can consider this as a laptop. So why we use laptop? We use laptop to save our data or any software we install and we use it. So same way you can relate this. So as you can see in the diagram here, so your investment is going on and this will never stop. Okay, so this will keep going on, means this infinity. So this is the infinity symbol, I'll put it here. Okay, so this investment will keep on and on. So this will never end here. Okay, and you have to, of course, you have to invest to the, I mean, you have to pay the developers also, right? So here also you are doing investment. So ultimately you are the sufferer as a business owner. Okay, so before cloud computing, this is the scenario what, how the things used to happen. Okay, now one more thing. Okay, imagine you are a big shot, in the sense you are a big billionaire, you have all the money. Even then there is a drawback. I will tell you why. Because imagine, even though you are having everything, if something happened to this server, then what will happen? Okay, so again investment. So you need to have 2 or 3 servers ready, isn't it? If something happens to this server, then immediately you need to switch to this server and you need to carry out with your day-to-day task. Again the cycle repeats. Again, if this happens, okay, if both are down at the same time due to some short circuit, what will happen? So your entire application is down. Okay, just a second, just a second. Okay, so let us continue. Right. So that is why we, with this hardware and maintenance, it is very, very difficult. Okay. And ultimately, the owner, it is you who are not happy with the overall business. Okay. So this is the, and people have managed this. So how? Because with more and more investment. Okay. So only the big companies were able to sustain with this kind of hardware setup. Okay, so this is where the cloud computing was born to, in order to solve this issue. Okay, so rather than your keep on investment here, okay, so I'll give you one more option. The deployment is same. Okay, so what if I tell you, you just need to have a simple account, just like we have an account with Facebook or Gmail, right? So you just need to have an account. Okay, and you will just log into that account using the internet. Okay, so this is the internet, and you as a owner, you will give permission to the developers. Okay, and the engineers, developers or engineers, are just, okay, to engineers to log into this account. Okay, the same server will be managed by, okay, let me just write it here. Okay, so these are the servers. Okay, so I will just name them as a like this. So why I am taking this? Because this company, this server are managed by some third party. So rental service, I just mentioned it as a rental service. Okay, so rental service company, which is AWS. Okay, so you just need to register with this user. Okay, so I will register with them using the, I will just name it here, so it will be okay. So I will just register using the internet with them, and I'll create an account. Okay, and I can spin up any server within seconds. Okay, so rather than purchasing this server by paying full cash upfront, okay, so what I'll do, I will just spin any server I want in the fleet of servers. So this phenomenon is called as cloud computing. The reason why they have named it as cloud computing, because in backend we will not get to see these servers physically. So as everything is covered as if the cloud, so that is why they have named it as a cloud computing. Because in backend there is lot of technologies involved, as I explained here, right? So 24-hour power supply, dedicated bandwidth of internet, hardware engineers, everything they are managed by AWS company. But as we as the end user, we have to just register with them. I'll write it here. Register with AWS by opening a free tier account. Okay, and I will show you how an AWS account will look like. So like this. So this is how a AWS account will look like. Let me show you. Let me log in. Yeah, so can you see here? So this is the AWS management console. So here, after I log in by just giving my user ID and password. Okay, so once you log in using your, I'll just sign out and sign in again so that you will understand how we can log in, right? So just here the password, 1 second. So I'll just give my email ID and I'll just enter the, and once I hit my password, so I'll be able to log in. So whatever the server, I can launch using these options. With few clicks, I'll be able to launch anything I want. I'll just show it to you how a console will look like. See here. So these are various services which we are going to learn in our cloud journey. Okay. So these are various services. Okay. Now coming back to the diagram here. Okay. So now you logged in and you have launched the server. So what are the benefits? So there is no 0 rupees investment. Please note this point. So you don't need to invest 0 rupees in order for you to launch anything in the cloud. Okay. And on demand, this is very important. So what do you mean by on demand? See, when you're going to purchase, right? So will anyone give you a big server or any laptop? Okay, you take laptop as an example. You go to Lenovo store. So will they give you, a good laptop free of cost? Will they say you use for 1 month and you pay? No, you need to pay them in advance. But here, what will happen? On demand, you will get the server as per your requirement, but you need not pay upfront. Only how many hours you use. Okay. So for example, now I logged into the internet and logged into the AWS console. I launched the one server. Okay. Now I ran it for only 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes you will be billed. So that is called PAYG. That is called pay as you go model. PAYG means pay as you. So these are very, very important terminology when it comes to cloud computing. So 0 rupees investment, on demand, and pay as you go. Okay. And you can launch n number of instances and you can delete n number of instances and no questions, no commitment. Just pay as you go. There are people to look after this. Okay. So there are people here from the AWS to manage things for you. I just need to focus here. So my first, this investment, I can forget it. I just need to utilize this opportunity and deploy my application. Isn't it? See, ultimately what I want my application to look like this. So when I can achieve by using this option, why will I go with this? So this is called the power of cloud computing. Okay. So enough of theory. Let me show you one demo where I will launch a simple web application. Okay, it will be just a very simple, but you will understand the idea, right? So within minutes, I don't even need to log into the server. Okay, I don't need to log into the server. I will be able to launch an application, a simple web application. Okay, just watch. So what I'm doing here, just see the steps. How many clicks I will do? I'll go to the EC2. I'll click on the launch EC2. I'll just hit demo. Okay, I don't need a key pair also. I don't need to log in also. Okay, and so I was okay coming back to that. I was explaining some about code, right? This code. So I just need to get this code to deploy. That's it. So let me show you that. And I'm going to paste the code in the console. Welcome to right, and just click on launch instance. That's it. So how many minutes did I take? And if you have to access this application, you can just, of course, it will take some time because the script, whatever I have fed it to the server, it will get installed in the backend. It will come out. It will take some 1 or 2 minutes to come up, right? So just keep watching. It will be up in few minutes. Because why it takes time is in the backend, it has to install, it has to download the packages from the internet, whatever is required for that application to run. So it will take some time. See, so welcome to AWS demo, guys. And it has picked the IP also. So this is for the demonstration. I have made this very simple, isn't it? So this way you don't need to log in also. Okay. So how many? 1 minute. Okay. Now I have launched this server from last say 30-40 seconds or 1 minute. Now I'm going to shut down or just terminate this instance, and they will not ask any question. That's it. No, see, now it is already shutting down, and this application was up. Now this will be gone. So these are like instance. So this is the meaning of on demand, right? And you don't need to invest anything. And in the month end, every month, the 5th of every month, the invoice will get generated. Okay. So at that point of time, you can pay to the AWS. Is this concept clear until here so far? Whatever I have done, any doubt you can ask me now. Hello guys, you there?
Sir, script, sir, ನೀವು script use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, what is that script? Like, which language is that?
This is just a simple bash scripting. Okay, don't worry, I will give all the scripts to you, so you will get it. So this is just a demonstration. Okay, let me show you that script also. So this is just a bash script I have given.
Okay.
And what I have done is I have spin up a small HTML static website, you can say that. Okay, but that can be a dynamic web application also, depending upon your can you go on mute? Who was that? Was it Vinay? Who asked the question now, Vimal or Vinay?
Vinay.
Okay, fine. So any other doubt, guys? See, whatever you see, you may feel this is the first time, and you may feel this is some alienware or something. Don't get panic. This is just a first day. Okay, so just I wanted to show you the power of cloud computing. I have just logged in. So all of you will create your own AWS accounts. You will start building things on your own. Okay, so you need not worry at all. This is just a basics. I just wanted to show how you can launch an application, right? So with few clicks. So that's the reason I did it. But if you're not understanding anything, don't worry at all. Everything will be covered. This is just the high level I'm giving today, right? Okay, so where is the diagram? 1 second. Just a minute. Yeah, so I'm sharing the screen again. Okay. So this is again another example I had done. Where did that go? 1 minute. Okay, so this is again a same thing I have done. So as you can see here, so this is the same thing here, isn't it? So rather than me investing on this huge space or everything, right? So I can launch a server and I can deploy my application and whenever I want, right? Now the next question, what it will come to your mind is, okay, is this clear until so far? I want the session to be interactive. So please speak up.
Yes, Nitin, understood whatever you have gone through till now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well,
Uh, Clear, right? Okay. Because I don't want to go ahead until you are clear. Okay. Next. Just a second. Okay. So now these rental services provided, okay, by AWS, they are called cloud provider. Okay. So what do you mean by cloud provider? Basically, they will set up all these things, whatever I have shown, right? So they will set up the data center, they will manage these huge servers, and they will manage a big teams, right? So everything they will manage. So that is the reason they are providing us the servers on a rental service. So that is why they are called cloud providers. So once you open an account with them, right? So we can do anything we want. Okay. Now the next question will come to us is why AWS? There are other like AWS, along with AWS, there is Azure, which is from Microsoft. Then there is GCP, Google Cloud Platform, which is from Google. So why AWS? The reason is AWS was started in the year 2002. Okay. Because you know very well that AWS is a e-retail company. What is e-retail? Like online store where we can purchase, log in and purchase things. So initially they also started with the same thing. So they also faced the same challenges, right? So they had to invest, they had hardware, okay, and not all hardware were being used at all the times. The meaning is, say for instance, you have 3 cars at your house. Okay, so one for long drive, one for this. Just imagine, okay. So you have to invest for all the 3 cars, right? So one electric car you have, one other petrol car and another diesel car. So for whatever might be the fuel type, but you have to invest for all the 3 cars. That is point number one. And you will not use them all, all the cars at the same time, right? So same issue they faced here. They are not being used. So John Bezos is the founder of AWS, Amazon Web Services. So he was an entrepreneur and a owner. So an idea came to his mind that anyhow my servers are not being used all the time. Why not give them on a rental basis to the developers, small other developers who cannot see. Not everyone will have that money power to invest huge and get this infrastructure set up, right? So some people, some entrepreneurs are very like they are some startups, so they needed this kind of support and they needed hardware, but they could not afford. So at that point of time, John Bezos started his idea in the year 2002, and he started with very few services. Okay, so he started with very few services named as EC2 SQS, and S3. Okay, so these three are the services. So EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, which is also known as virtual machine. Okay, VMs, commonly known as VMs, virtual machines or servers. Okay, and simple queue service, and S3. S3 stands for simple storage service, which is same as our Google Drive. Okay, if you have used Google Drive, so this is a simple storage service for you. But this Google Drive is by Google, but whereas if you take S3, so this is the name they have given by Amazon, that's it. But in the back end, the concept is one and the same. So we are going to explore all these services one by one, right? So as they started in the year 2002, so they've become very popular within few years. So in the year 2006, they launched the first data center or region. Let me show it to you in the this one. So in Northern Virginia. So let me show you that. Okay, so this is the meaning of globe. So this is the presence of AWS all over the world. Okay, now they are in India also, in Hyderabad. It is coming soon, and we have a region. So region means it is a collection of data centers. We have 3 data centers in Mumbai. Okay, so what is a region? Region is nothing but a geographical location where AWS have set up their data center. Very simple. Okay, and I told you right now, when the Mumbai was launched in the year 2016, just 10 years before, if you see here, so this was their first data center in Northern Virginia. So after that, the rest is history. Okay, and from the last 10 years, I mean, sorry, 11 years, they have bagged the first prize from Gartner Magic Quadrant to be the best cloud provider in the whole world today. Okay, 11th consecutive years. Okay, not 1 or 2, 11 consecutive years. So after that, so after Northern Virginia, so there are many regions. See, in 2009, California, Oregon, South Africa. Sorry, this is South Africa. Cape Town, we have a data center, 3 data center in Cape Town, and this is Sao Paulo, that is South America. Okay, we have in Singapore, we have in Australia. So these are all the regions. So region are basically in the world map a specific location where AWS have set up their data centers. Okay, so the whatever the green dots you are seeing, these are all established, meaning they are already set up, and the yellow dots you are seeing, they are coming soon. So soon we have in Spain, Hyderabad, Switzerland, and Melbourne, and one is Auckland, and the other one is Hyderabad also. We are coming soon. Okay, so region is nothing but a collection of data centers. Okay, please remember that. Okay, so AWS has 15 plus years of experience in the industry. So that is why people in the sense, like many company who were used to follow this method, the first method, option number 1, as I have highlighted here, right? So this is the option number 1. What is option number 1? Keep investing, and you have to scratch your head on the 2 things. Your business also you have to improve, and you have to scratch your head on the maintaining the hardware. So that is option 1. So people are focusing more on their business with the help of cloud, because I don't need to worry about hardware anymore. Think that if to put it in a more simpler way, think that it is like rather than purchasing your own car, you can drive BMW today for 6 hours and you can return the BMW. Tomorrow you can drive Audi. So without even investing 60 lakhs or 80 lakhs, you can enjoy the benefit of Audi or BMW. So same concept. So what we need, our application should be up and running. Okay, so who cares? We don't want to own the hardware. So we just need our application to be safe and secure. And that is why many companies are migrating to the cloud platform. They don't no more want to go with this option number 1. They have already started with option number 2. That is the reason they are going with the cloud, and they are migrating their applications to the cloud. And people need engineers who are having good cloud knowledge, and they are ready to pay a very good salary. So the salary also I have mentioned here, it is 4 to 6 lakhs for freshers and 8 to 25 or even more for experienced professionals. Okay, so these reasons are more than enough for anyone to start learning with the AWS. Okay, and if you ask me, cloud computing is the future, is the present and the future, and that this is going to stay for another 20 plus years for sure, and there won't be any other things, okay, coming into between. So this is why we have to start investing our time to learn cloud computing. Okay, right. So we are going to start with the networking basics. Okay, so in our cloud journey we are going to, so this was whatever was done is just a high level overview I have done. So first we are going to start with the networking basics, like what is an IP address, why we require IP address, then how the device communicate with each other. So all those things we are going to explore. Okay, now so I will set the context now. Okay, so is this clear about the AWS global infrastructure, their presence and everything?
Yes,
See,
Mithun.
this is the award I was telling you. So Magic Quadrant for Cloud Infrastructure as a Service Worldwide 2021. Okay, so this is not, this award is provided by some third party company called Gartner Magic. So you can get the report here if you want. Okay, if you want to see gartner.com. So this report is provided by the Gartner. See, okay, right. Okay, anyone was I think someone was asking something. Yeah, please go ahead. Any doubt, guys? Okay, so now I will set the context. So we have to start with the networking basics, right? Now, why it is important for us to learn networking concept. So I'll explain. Now, imagine this is me, right? Okay. Now, I have my friend.
Mithun, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Can you just enlarge your screen a little bit because wording so it's not properly visible.
Okay, I will enlarge.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, Mithun. Now it's fine.
I will share this diagram with you.
Okay.
Okay, now is this okay, right? This size is okay.
Yeah, Mithun. Now the words are visible.
Okay, right. So now this is me and this is my friend, right? So if he is in my house or I am in his house, so I will call his name. Say hi Ganesh. So he will reply hi Mithun. So it will work out easily because we both are at the same place. Now imagine, now Ganesh is at his hometown. I am in Bangalore. So how will I say hi Ganesh? Will the message reach to him? No. Then what? How I can talk to him? So I will have to use my mobile phone, right? Okay, so I have to use my mobile phone. So even with the mobile phone, if I say dial Ganesh, will it dial? It will dial. But if I have saved somewhat like this, some number 8989, some number, if I have saved like this, only then it will dial, right? And it will reach his mobile, of course, with the help of mobile networking towers, isn't it? So there will be tower, isn't it? So it will reach here, from here to here. Okay, and it will reach his phone. Then once the connection is established, then I'll be able to say anything to him and he'll be able to hear. So this is a process we are all aware. Okay, so why number? See, it is only for us humans. We don't like to remember the number or digits because we feel very comfortable if we call someone or something by name, isn't it? So how many numbers? You can remember one or two numbers, but you cannot remember. If you have some 100 friends, you cannot remember everyone names, right? Sorry, everyone numbers. So you'll have to store the number against their name, and only then you will be able to dial. The same thing happens in the computing world. Okay, so why I gave this example, because so that you understand the concept behind the networking. Okay, now same thing, you have two servers. Okay, now this is server A and this is server B. Now same scenario, both are at the same room. So server A and server B. So both are at the same room. So how we are going to connect these two servers? Very simple. You can make use of the LAN cable. Like LAN cable is something you might have seen. If you are working for any organization, in order for you to connect to the internet, you require a LAN cable. So you can connect the LAN cable and you can transfer the device, right? Now imagine similarly, but here, even though if you connect using the LAN cable, the server A will not recognize the server B as the names. Okay, as the mobile phone has a mobile number which is unique, same way we require a unique number with this server also, any computing device for that matter, and that is known as the IP address. What is that? IP address. So IP is short form for internet protocol. Okay, right? Even if these two devices are not connected using the LAN cable, even though they are also connected using the internet, so let me draw here internet, so even then the IP address is required. Okay, and that IP address will be of the form of A.B.C.D, and this is also will be of the form V.X.Y.Z, or if I had to put it this way, so 1.2.3.4, 5.6.7.8. Right? So only when I say there is some message that has to be delivered to this server B, so that is identified by this IP address. Okay, so this is internet. And the IP address currently we are following is IP version 4. So I'll come to what is meant by IP address in detail. Okay. Okay, so IP version 4 we are currently in, which is very, very popular. Of course, we have IPv6. Okay. Now IPv4 is of 32-bit. Now what do you mean by 32-bit? Okay. So 32-bit means this is where the funda lies here. So 32-bit means I have written here, right? So this number is separated by dot, or also called as period. Okay, so why 32-bit? Because each octet is capable of holding 8 bits of information. Please remember this, 8 bits of information. So that is why we have 4 periods. So each capable of storing 8 bits of information. So 8 into 4, 32. So it is 32 bits. So let me open an Excel. I will explain. So like this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let me name here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So like this it will have. So this is about 1 period. Okay. So this is 1 dot. Then again there will be, again it repeats. So 8, 8. So 8 and 8. 8 bits. So in this each 8 bits, it can store only 2 values, either 0 or 1. Okay, so let us start writing here 0 or 1. 0, 1 or 0. 0 or 1 or 0, 0 also. It can only store these 2 values. It cannot store 2 or 3, something like that. Why? Because when the internet protocol or the internet was evolving, right? So this was that decided by the DoD, that is Department of Defense. See, earlier the internet was used only for the defense purpose. Okay, and the first internet was called as ARPANET, right? Of course, we don't need to require those history, but still I am telling. So at that point of time, only the maximum register available was 32-bit. Okay, and even now the 32-bit IP addressing is very, very popular. Okay, and this 0 and 1 you cannot put randomly. So for this also there is some value. Okay, so that we are going to explore little later. Okay, if I tell you now, you may get confused. So that's the reason I'm not explaining you, right? So if you see whatever you see before the period, I mean dot symbol, it doesn't mean that you may see only one character, I mean one digit, but that digit has to be represented in the decimal, because the computer doesn't understand this number. It has no sense. If you say 1, it has no sense to the computer. The computer will translate this 1 into sequence of digits like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it will see 1 as something like this. So the data also get transferred like this, it in the sequence of zeros and ones. It is only for us, we will understand, because if I say 1, it is like 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, we will not be able to remember this, right? So you need to always keep on calculating things and other stuff. So it will take a lot of time. For us it is easy, it is to remember any websites with their name. Because why it is important to learn this concept? Because every website has a IP address. I will just show you to you. You name any one of your favorite website, right? Okay, for example, whatsapp.com, right? Let me show you. Let us get the IP address of whatsapp.com. So what you guys do? Just open your CMD, that is command prompt, and just do ping. Just type ping whatsapp.com. See, you are getting a response from whatsapp.com. Okay, so similarly you can do for google.com also. See here. See. So you can access this server with the IP address also. I'll just show it to you once. Just a second. Now let us try to access this server. See, I will also, okay, wait, let me put it in the chat. You also try. I'll put this IP address. Now you try, you just copy paste in your browser. Then you will see the same web page. So that is because every server, if you please remember this concept, that if your device or if your application needs to be present in the internet or in any network, that device or that node or that server must have an IP address, otherwise you will not be able to connect to it. So that is the reason I have shown you people that every device, in order to be connected, it should have an IP address. Even your mobile phone will have an IP address. Even my laptop will have IP address. Just I'll show you. Just type, go to Google, just type what is my IP address. Okay. See, this is my IP address. Can you see here? Just go to what is my IP address.com and you will get your IP. So this is my IP. Clear? Okay, so with this I am going to stop here. I don't want to continue as it is first day, so we are not going to go further. So any doubts, please ask me. Hello guys.
No sir.
Hello.
No sir.
No, sir.
So you have seen a mail from.
Sorry.
No sir, no doubts.
Got
Okay.
it, Mithun.
Okay. Okay. Good, Vimal. Good. Okay. Fine. Then if there are no doubts, then I'm going to stop the recording.